welcome to African Brands. I'm Ore Ajewale. I'm thrilled that you could join us today. We begin with a brand leaders chat with the CEO of Tenece, Mr. Kingsley Eze, who's building a multi-competency enterprise transformation and technology consulting firm that combines enterprise and capabilities across many different industries and business functions. They're keen on delivering superior value to all their clients.
Tenece today has become a one-stop technology shop. It's a 300-plus man organization. So over time, we've built competencies in software development and IT advisory. Today, we're very strong in cybersecurity, supporting almost 70% of the banks when it comes to security solutions. We're very strong in infrastructure, be communications infrastructure and data center infrastructure. We're also very active on what they call endpoint devices as customers seek to expand the scope and level of using technology, companies to provide services to their customers. We have developed a very strong outsourcing practice, where we provide resources to banks, to telcos, and other customers who are not interested in hiring and retaining a lot of IT professionals in their environment. There is no single thing we're doing. Our success is the result of a number of things we're able to do well. I make bold to say that we have the best people in the industry. Then over time, build the right culture of responsibility, of hard work, of empathy, of respect, both for amongst ourselves and most importantly to our customers. That has also helped us. Now, the other thing we consider very critical to our success is development. We train our people. We don't hold back anything when it comes to developing our people, and it's across board, not just our technical people. Even our management team, we make a lot of investments in training just to make sure we continue. We don't just attract good people, but we also attract and retain them. In the 10 years plus that we've been working, we don't have a single incident of failed project. There is no failed project anywhere today that have our name to it, not at all. Have we had challenging projects? Yes, of course. It's almost like the more challenging they become, the more they pull out the best in us, and the more determined we are to make sure we close it our usual way, which is closing it and closing it very well. Whatever we've been able to achieve as an organization has been the collective effort of the entire Tenece team, where everybody is working and doing their best, to make sure we achieve our set goals. I think about last year, it was somewhere between 87 and 90 million population in terms of the internet penetration in Nigeria. This year is about 103 million, Nigerians, with access to the internet. That is one of the primary indices or statistics that are used to measure to what extent a nation or a people are adopting technology. So on the individual basis, a lot is happening in terms of how individuals are adopting technology in Nigeria today. So starting from our academia, where a lot of general exams today happen using CBT. So our young people have more or less forced scenario where they must begin to engage technology. Come to the financial services, you also see what technology is doing in the banks and all that. Government is an area where so much needs to be done, but it appears that it's not moving as fast as you would expect. I mean, one would also understand the size of government, the political cycles that tend not to continue with the previous activities of preceding regimes. the very bureaucratic nature of government. So all those things put together are possibly limiting government's ability to adopt technology as fast as possible. But I see a lot of things happening. Immigrations will be one good area. Corporate Affairs Commission is also another good area where quite a lot has happened, even though a lot more can also happen. Interestingly, Tenece is also involved in quite a number of technology initiatives happening at the government, at the federal level, and even at the state levels, with different states. So yeah, we may not have moved as fast, but we are definitely not where we were before in terms of adoption of technology. Of all the things we do in Tenece, one of the things that I consider very rewarding, not just to us in Tenece, but to the nation as a whole, is an initiative we started about 4 years ago. We called it the Genesis Hub. We invested in an innovation hub, which has become a breeding ground for young technology enthusiasts. In the past 4 years, we've trained thousands of young people on different areas of technology. In that time also, we have funded about 8 different startups, which are essentially, young smart guys who have come together with interesting technology ideas, and we have helped them fund those ideas, nurture or incubate those ideas, and also help them take those ideas to the market. So that also becomes our own way of checking the issues around unemployment, and all that. Reality is that today there is a mindset that government should provide employment for, but it's actually not possible. And if you look at countries that have done very well with single-digit unemployment rates, low value unemployment rates, countries like China, America, Germany, if you look at them, you find out that their growth is actually driven by small, medium-sized enterprises. And that is the kind of orientation or revolution I would like to see in Nigeria, where young people will graduate from school and be more interested in what they can do with their hands, be more interested in what they can set up by themselves, instead of dusting up a CV and trying to get into a paid job. So of all the things we have done as Tenece, our efforts in Genesis, represents the one that is closest to our heart, because of the efforts, because of the role it's playing in developing young people in Nigeria.
Passion sometimes, as they say, will tell you everything you need to know about a person. Truer words could not be spoken about our next brand leader, who's passionate about the much neglected security industry in Nigeria. Here's engineer Mustafa Lusty as he shares passionately about the role Konz Engineering Limited plays in the Nigerian security sector.
Konz Engineering is a company that I've been trying to survive for the past 20 years. We started from electronics control management. We started a couple of years back by capitalizing on the new opportunity in Nigeria when the industries are coming to Nigeria, establishing factories, textiles and whatever, and we realized that there's a gap. And the gap then was there is no capacity to maintain the electronics equipment that was brought in. Because we're vast in electronics control, we moved into industrial electronics and started supporting those organizations to fix their electronics modules in that industry. After that, we saw the collapse of manufacturing company, and also we saw the boom of the banks. When the banks embraced technology, because Nigeria had one limitation, we lacked maintenance culture. And because we saw an opening in the banking industry, in terms of we moved into the banking industry and ensure that the equipment they have spent money from on are effectively being used. Gradually, we noticed another opening in the aviation. We moved into also in the aviation. But we realized that Nigeria had no choice than to move technologically in the security sector, because the only thing we lack in Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned, is security. So we now support the technological arm of security in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. So today we are not just a system integrator, we are a security solution provider. We don't do manga, we do electronics. You just tell us the problem, we give you the solution. And with that, after that, we move into distribution. So we bring in security equipment and make sure we can make it available for other competitors and collaborators that wants to integrate. And we also move a bit ahead when we realize that people wants to do, but people in Nigeria, we are reluctant to invest into technology because we don't know the know-how. So we started doing training for all system integrators and collaborators at no cost to them to ensure that we can upload their technological know-how so that we can all meet the international standard all together. So that's the summary of what we do in Konz Engineering. Well, in security industry, there are challenges because everybody that have worked in one security sector or the other, maybe physical security, paramilitary, or maybe you have been a guard or whatever, everybody wants to set up a security company. Then there's no specialization. Security industry is like a jack of all trade, master of none. Unfortunately for the nation, also we accepted them like that. And unfortunately for the Nigeria as a whole, we know securities are challenges, but we are talking to wrong experts. For example, if you talk to me about man guarding, I don't know anything about man guarding, but talk to me about electronic solution. I'll give you a hands-on electronic solution and I'll even eliminate the need for guards. Everybody wants a security solution and they believe if I call in a security company will give me. No, you must know what you need. And you must embrace consultant to be able to tell you a security design that is necessary before you start calling contractor. The idea of converting contractor to consultant is not going to work. Because I have been in both sides, I have seen that. I've seen a lot of investment into security that is a waste. So the design is very important. And you cannot give a security design to somebody that specializes in physical security or that the only thing he knows how to is to cock a gun. So if you want to use electronic solution, you have to talk to electronics consultants related. And the idea of building a whole structure and the only person that you talk to there is a building consultant. A building consultant is not an engineering consultant. And it's also not an expert in electronic security. So you said you want a camera. For example, you say I need a camera. The question is, when you ask me you need a camera, I'll tell you why. But when you say you need a camera to another person, yes, I have camera. They have installed camera. I need to know why. I need to know what is the threat. I need to know what we want to cover. So that will not enable me to know what type of camera will solve your problem. How can we make it more efficient and effective at the same time? Because in most cases we have camera, they don't solve the problem. Because we are not solving the challenge. We are only buying an equipment to showcase that we have. Also, I said learning is continuum. I'm always a student. I'm learning from you as well. It is not Nigerians. The percentage of Nigeria that actually in the cybercrime are very little. But globally, every criminal claimed to be a Nigerian. A guy was arrested recently for a cybercrime, and after he was arrested in Nigeria, he was even using a Igbo name. He was an Iraqian. Another guy was arrested in the US, Prince of Nigeria. The Prince of Nigeria that have duped so many people in the US is a white American. So the reason why we're having this challenge was because we do not take care of our own front. For us to get out of this mess, government must play their own role by ensuring that we can have data for everybody. We need a data bank for Nigeria that can identify and recognize everybody. And every individual must also do their own part to promote Nigeria in good image and to do the right thing that we're supposed to do. Because they are one of a Nigeria. They are a couple of Nigerians. But when they say Nigerian, you are part of it. So until we fight against that negative name, until we fight against people that are doing the wrong thing in Nigeria, that is when they will be forced to run away or to do the right thing. So it's a collective responsibility. Don't give up.
Over the years, lots of domain names have entered the internet domain space, but if it's in Nigeria, it's got to be .ng. .ng is the most widely accepted and trusted country code top-level domain CCTLD in the world. .ng is the official country code for Nigeria. You can register your name directly under .ng or choose from one of its popular second-level domain extensions such as .com.ng for commercial companies, .org.ng for not-for-profit organizations, .edu.ng for degree or diploma awarding educational institutions, .mobi.ng for mobile content and service providers, .sca.ng for non-degree and diploma awarding schools, .name.ng for personal websites and emails, .i.ng for interesting action names like trading and shopping, .net.ng for internet service providers, .gov.ng for federal and state ministries, departments and agencies, as well as local governments, .mil.ng for the military. Now, if it's a web or email address ending in .ng, then you know it's trusted, locally relevant, globally accepted, and proudly Nigerian. Experience shows that any domain name ending with .ng ranks among the highest and most relevant on popular internet search engines when searching for products, services, and information relating to Nigeria or the world at large. Businesses with .ng are more relevant and appealing to not only Nigerians but millions of people all around the world. Getting a .ng domain name is easy, fast, and affordable. So if you want to register your domain name, you can choose from any of our over 50 accredited registrars across Nigeria, Africa, and the world. .ng is undoubtedly a great online identity for locally relevant products, services, and innovations. How to register a .ng domain name? Step 1. Think of a name you want to register on .ng for your business, website, or email address. Step 2. Check the availability of the name you want to register on .ng from the NIRA UIS website, uis.nic.net.ng. Step 3. Visit the NIRA website, www.nira.org.ng. Step 4. From NIRA's website, www.nira.org.ng, click on the icon named Registrars and select your preferred registrar. Step 5. Clicking on your preferred registrar will redirect you to that registrar's website where you can use this platform to register your domain name. Go ahead and register your own .ng domain name and connect to the world. .ng, your Nigerian identity online.
This is laws of life. In anything you're doing, be honest about it. You're submitting a quote, be honest. Your guys at the top might try and cheat you, leave them, but guess what? You'll get another contract next week. Because the person that's really saying what you are doing believes in you already. But when you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in the person that's really watching you, forget your orgasm. That is when you are going to fail. If your psyche is, how can I cheat this person out of 5,000 naira? You will remain a 5,000 naira person. If your psyche is, how can I cheat this person out of one meat? You hide one meat and say, they only gave us one. No, many of us did it, so I see them laughing. I know. But that's where you're going to remain. If where you are is cheating people, you will remain cheated. Because the universe will cheat you.
I am not one of those people that likes to talk down to the audience. I'd like to share my experiences. So please, if you have any questions, please ask as many as you can, and I will share my life experience with you. Thank you.
And I think that's why I got the magic. The partnership is actually the way of life. Collaboration is the new currency.
I did not allow my circumstances or the circumstances around me to shape my journey.
Localization and Branding Summit 2019. Think global, act local.
Nedfield Property Trust Limited has one job that they do extremely well: make it easy for Nigerians to build their dreams in the country's most desirable neighborhoods. A job that they do so well that we had to take a trip down to see their real estate projects across the country and sit down with the CEO, Mr. Edward Iworo.
We're basically a real estate consultancy outfit, so we do project appraisals, feasibility, viability appraisals for real estate projects. We also engage in real estate development. We manage developed properties. We assist people to buy and to lease and all of that. So we offer such services to the corporate and to individuals. So far we have played mostly in the residential sector, developing residential projects, mostly on the Lekki axis for individuals. That's in terms of development, but we also we offer management consultancies to other people who have their developments already standing. So we partner with a lot of corporates. Some of them are foreign entities who have come into the country too to help develop the sector. So we work with them and offer management services, managing the facilities and projects. The real issue is the costs of finance. I still don't understand why you leave Nigeria and you get to other countries, the rates of borrowings are significantly lower. Why do we have to borrow at such high interest rates in Nigeria? Government needs to look into that. The economy, you can't grow the economy by giving incentives to one sector and not to the other. If you grow a lot of real estate, so to grow the economy, you need to grow aviation, you need to grow shipping, you need to grow agriculture, you need to grow every sector so that when you're investing in real estate, you have people who can access them. The whole economy has to grow together. Yeah. Now, if government empower the people will grow this nation. The people will develop this nation. That's how nations are built. But what we see is a drift of some of our best minds are leaving the country and enabling other countries' economies to grow. That should not be. That should never happen. Where we are going, there is some level of competition, but there are few. There are few people, few organizations that are thinking the same way as we are thinking. We know a few of them. Some of them are ahead of us already. Yeah, but we hope that we can give them a good run when we start.
Much thanks for joining me today on African Brands. My name is Ore Ajewale, and I will see you next week.